Hey YouTubers!
Hey YouTubers!
Welcome back to... Okay. You just like to change it up, don't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we're going to talk about... That's MJ, by the way. We're going to talk about 5 techniques that are basically instant kill techniques that we've seen throughout Dragon Ball that we want to return in Dragon Ball Super, and especially the Universe Survival Arc or the Omniversal Tournament, depending on what you want to call it. Personally, I already did a video earlier this week about whether or not killing will be allowed in this tournament. We definitely just don't know at this point. There's no kind of indication whether or not that is true. But considering the stakes of the tournament, it's kind of hard to imagine that they won't be, especially kind of the context that we got from the last tournament with both Hit and Frost being kind of okay with the concept of killing their opponents in the tournament ring, and that just being strictly against the rules. Just given the stakes of this, I just imagine that there will be killing. So with that said, there are 5 techniques that we actually want to talk about that have been shown in some context, some way, shape, or form throughout Dragon Ball that we haven't seen for a very long time that could probably be instant kills and something that we would really like to see going forward. So with that just being said, let's just go down this list one at a time. First of all, I guess most recently we've seen Hit's invisible key technique and the fact that he could basically use it to stop someone's heart and basically just kill them instantly. MJ, what would you like to see? Would you like to even see that again? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would like to see that again. Let's go to the next one. Just kidding.
God damn it.
Yeah, I would like to see it. Now, I'm gonna take something from the King of Lightning, his little YouTube channel. If you want to go check him out, he basically says something about Madara from Naruto, and I'm gonna say this about Hit. Hit has a bag of epic shit, and he constantly pulls shit out of that bag. Every time we see him, the dude brings out something epic. And the last time we saw him in episode 71, he brought out the invisible key blast. He also used it in episode 72. He stopped 2 people's hearts with that. He stopped the mafia guy, the mob guy, and he stopped Goku's heart. This is an instant kill. Talk about an instant badass, an instant classic. Why am I saying instant over and over again? But Hit, who is in control of this unbelievable technique in a tournament setting where killing is allowed, because we know killing was not allowed in the previous tournament. And again, Mark, this is called the Universe Survival Arc and the Tournament of Power, just so you'll know, for future reference. So, in the Tournament of Power, if killing is allowed, then Hit can utilize his ability to the fullest. I can see Hit using this technique to just like knock out guys. They're going to get like a Rocky montage, and like Hit's going to be running through motherfuckers. Just like boom, 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 left and right with his hand behind his back, just doing all these invisible key blasts, and everyone's going to be getting knocked down. And I feel like that's an instant kill, and if killing is allowed, why not use this technique? Because it's been proven to work flawlessly before. So yeah.
No, I completely agree with that. I mean, obviously, if it does work and if they do allow it, why not? But with that being said, something we haven't necessarily been seen used, but we've been told that's the purpose of, is Frost's instant kill needle. I feel like that's something they made a very clear point in the last tournament arc to emphasize that yes, he has this, yes, he can use this whenever he wants, but he just decides not to. He decides to make people with his other needle make people dizzy and just kind of out of it so he can actually get the win. Now, if killing is allowed, it's something I would really like to see. And before I let you go, one thing I would really like to see is I want him to use it and for it to not work. I want to see if they're not going to do a huge change to Frost's character. I don't mind if this works for him once or twice, but I do want him to go out there, use it, and for whatever biology of these other people from other universes just does not work on them, and he basically gets his shit wrecked because he can't fight without it if he hasn't had a significant power increase or anything like that. And just so we know, you and I did a video about this. I'll link it in the description below for anyone who's interested in what Frost's role might be in this upcoming tournament. And this kind of goes along with it. If he's not basically given any other character development, it would be interesting for him to basically rely on this stuff way too much and then basically have it blow up in his face.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. We saw that Frost is only above base Goku, and he's below Super Saiyan Goku, the same with Vegeta as well, since Goku and Vegeta are equals. So if that's the case, then anybody who is stronger than base Goku, or, that would automatically be a threat to Frost if he has not trained and if he has not unlocked any new power. So the fact that he's going to be relying on maybe a needle, if killing is allowed again, if killing is allowed in the Tournament of Power, if he's going to be relying on his needle, then if he fights someone who has the durability, or maybe has like the biological differences and something like that, where maybe the needle touches it like and it breaks or something on his skin, that would actually be kind of funny. But if that happens, then he's basically screwed. But at the same time, if he can find someone who is who he can take out with the needle, that would be an instant kill. You know what I mean? That would just be over right then and there. Frost would be declared the winner, and that would be finally. It would be cool to actually see Frost take somebody out. That's kind of fucked up, right? That I'm saying it'd be cool to see someone die. But anyways,
well, I mean, this show needs to grow up at some point.
it would be cool to see Frost. I'll word it like this: it'll be cool to see Frost utilize that technique with the actual needle that does the killing. It would be cool to see him utilize that in some shape, form, or fashion in this arc. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I feel sorry for Frost, man.
Exactly. Anyway, moving on with this. One thing we haven't seen for a very long time, I know Geekdom likes to talk about it every now and then because it's a really interesting concept or technique, and whether or not they bring back the character who uses it, we'll get to that, is one thing, but just basically kind of adapting it or giving it some other reason to exist through another character or a character that we already know would be really cool, and that is the Devil Might beam from Dragon Ball, Devil Man from Dragon Ball, and I think that'd be really cool. They said that would basically, if you have any kind of malice in your heart, any kind of bad thoughts or feelings or intentions or something, it instantly kills you, instant kill. To the point where MJ, Mike from Laughing Stock Media, and Geekdom have also said, all of them, that it could potentially be strong enough to kill Frieza just instantly. So that's a pretty powerful technique. Put it on top of someone who's new and they just adapt it. Maybe even a reference like, oh, I've seen this before. Or this seems familiar for whatever reason. Just kind of a nod to the old concept or the old thing from Dragon Ball. Bringing that back, bringing that technique back to a point where someone could just mow down anyone who gets in his way until he gets to basically Goku or Vegeta or Gohan or someone who would totally be like, what? Like, this makes no difference. And that's a comedic moment, but it would also be really cool to see something like that return. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. I would. You know what? I'm actually going to do a little shameless plug here. I have a video on my channel talking about Akuman, or the Devilman, if he could actually defeat the likes of Frieza, Cell, and Super Buu, all the evil villains of Z. So you might want to go check that out, where I go in depth on him and on his character and on the Devil Might Beam. But basically, it's not even if you're a bad person. Roshi was stated to probably not even be able to survive that attack, and we know Roshi's the type of person who'll give his life up for the Earth. We saw that with Piccolo Daimao. It's just the fact that he has that perviness in him that would actually take him out. That would be his undoing, his wrongdoing. That would be his demise. So even if he had the slightest of bad intentions, he didn't even have to be a bad person, just the slightest of bad intentions, that move can take you out. And basically, it would be cool to see somebody actually utilize this technique, whether it's Devilman, whether it's Roshi, who maybe utilizes the technique. Maybe he learned how to do it for future villains. You never know. Like, Roshi could have utilized a technique that could help him take out stronger opponents. Anybody who can do it. It would be kind of cool though to see actually someone use the concept and maybe have Roshi recognize the technique, but have Roshi go, oh, this is even a more advanced version, because Devil Might's version kind of was a bit slow. I mean, obviously we're watching these characters move at fast speeds, but Devilman was kind of slow. It seemed like Goku could have literally walked out of that move anytime he wanted to. So it seems like maybe we could get somebody who maybe took that move but advanced it. So you have Roshi or Ten Shinhan or Yamcha, the people who have seen the technique, or Goku may not remember it, but if you see other people who've actually seen this technique, they can call on it, say it's a homage to the Devilman's Beam, but it's even more advanced. It's an even more dangerous technique. And think about it like this: can you imagine that same technique, but in the concept of maybe this person just blinks his eye and his eye glows red, and then automatically you're in it? Oh my God. That would be dangerous, dude. And it would be cool to get that comedic moment where Vegeta's up against him and everyone's like, oh no, Vegeta, it's not gonna work on him. But then, it doesn't work on him, everyone's like, oh, he is really a good guy. Really emphasize that Vegeta does not have bad intentions anymore. But anyways, it would be cool to get that technique to return. Plus, they've brought back the Mafuba, they brought back the Kaioken. Why not bring back a technique like this if this tournament's gonna allow killing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I feel like that is just definitely something that would be fun to see. Just a little nod to previous things in Dragon Ball, and obviously, like we've said before, on many occasions, Super just doesn't have any problem with doing that stuff. They don't have any problem with bringing back techniques or things that people recognize, concepts, characters, and all this other stuff. So, going off that, we'll look at the two other ones. I guess this is kind of like a dual thing because they basically copy each other, but one's only from the movies in Dragon Ball GT, which stole it from the movie. We have basically the Ozaru Fist, or the Monkey Fist, if you want to call it that, and the Dragon Fist, the Super Dragon Fist from movie 12 in GT. Obviously, the Ozaru Fist is from the fight with Piccolo Daimao. I don't necessarily see this one coming back, although it would be really cool. And as we've been saying, like a really nice nod to past iterations of Dragon Ball, be it canon or non-canon, or just kind of like those side stories from the movies. And but the only reason I don't see this happening is because the only time we've seen it is when Goku is a child. Goku is not a child. Actually, no, we saw the Super Dragon Fist in movie 13 when he was a kid, but we would need like a really big opponent, like a giant opponent like Harudegard. So I don't necessarily think that this is coming back, although it's such a cool concept and such a cool technique. And, just to kind of canonizing that would be cool. One of the things a lot of people have talked about in the past is that Goku just doesn't have any original techniques. He basically shares and steals other people's concepts. And to give him something that's like, oh, well, I've been working on this. I've been working on this myself. Kind of an ass pull like the last one, where it's like, I've been working on using the Kaioken with the Super Saiyan God form, would be interesting. I feel like giving him that kind of a kill technique. And also, like we said, having Goku actually kill somebody would mean that it's super serious. Like, if he sees no other way to beat anybody than having to actually murder them, then it's actually a very serious situation. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. When he used the Ozaru Fist, or that giant, whatever it was, in the Piccolo Daimao fight, he took him out. You know what I mean? He was trying to kill Piccolo Daimao. And in GT, I mean, obviously, yeah, it would be cooler to see like on a giant Namekian or like a Hirudegan type character, At the same time, he still did use it against people who, I guess, are like humanoid figures. Like, he used it on Nova Shinron, and he used it on Omega Shinron, and if Omega didn't have his regeneration abilities, he would have died. You know what I mean? These are legit kill techniques. He used it on Ice Shinron, and he killed him. You know what I mean? That was it. Ice took that, and he was done. He was dead. He was obliterated. Hole in the guy's gut, and he was gone. See you later. You know what I mean? So, yeah. With Omega, again, he would have died if he didn't have regeneration. So, it's like, these are legit instant kill moves, and they're legit finishers that Goku only uses when he's in a serious situation. Now, we've talked about it before. The stakes are really high. If we find out killing is allowed, that's going to raise the stakes even higher. And if they are allowed, that means people like Goku do not give up. They will not give up. People like Vegeta most likely will not give up, because you saw him fight against Black and you saw him fight against Kid Buu. These characters do not give up. If they're going up against somebody who does not care about killing, they'll figure that out pretty soon. I'm not too sure if you guys are fans of Hunter x Hunter. I know Mark has seen a few episodes, or he's probably seen it all. I can't remember. But you guys remember the fight with Gon and the Saitama-looking character, I forget his name. And this is in the very first arc. He literally figured out that Gon's the type of person that's not going to give up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, if we get something like that, and this guy is legit a threat to Goku and Vegeta, and they know that Goku and Vegeta are not going to give up no matter how much they knock him down, and they're going to say, well, my universe is at stake, I'm going to have to kill you, I'm sorry about that, then that means Goku and Vegeta, or in this case Goku might have to pull out all the stops, and whether it's bringing back the Ozaru Fist, or whether it's bringing back a move that we've never seen before in a canonized version of Dragon Ball, which is the Dragon Fist, then yeah, that would be an instant kill technique, and that'll be a move to kind of get Goku's ass out of the water, because he's going up against a real big threat. So I can definitely see that move returning, or a variation of that move, I should say, returning,
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, look, the one thing that we need in this arc, if they're actually going to go along with the arc and like what they're setting up right now, is we need Goku and Vegeta both to get serious. I feel like everyone else in here could be serious. Goku and Vegeta, especially Goku, needs to be able to understand the weight of what he's actually caused here by bringing this up and being able to be like, let's do this right now. And it's like, okay, but these are the stakes. Goku can't like brush those off, you know. There are legitimate consequences if he loses. So if there is killing allowed, we're going to need to see Goku at least once kill somebody. And bringing back something like this, a legitimate move that he's used both canon and non-canon in order to be like a final finishing, this is the last straw, where it's just Goku and not like, everyone give me your energy because I need to either punch someone like Broly or build up a super bomb that could like a spirit bomb or a Genki Dama, whatever you want to call it, to kill somebody. This is something that Goku can do alone, and something that has proven the effect to be like almost an instant kill. Plus, the concept of Goku going through an enemy, like physically moving through them and killing them that way, is something that's pretty epic. So I feel like we would lose our minds if they actually brought that back in one way or another.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, last one, guys. Last one, just because they have not actually given Boo any fucking time throughout this entire arc. And they've taken their time to mention him too. Almost everything they've done in this series, like anybody who's come, like Frieza or the tournament, they always go, oh, you know who's like really strong? Boo. Like, why doesn't he come? Like, that guy has an instant kill technique with the whole candy beam. The candy beam needs to return. Boo needs to have some relevance with that, to just turn someone who's pissing him off into candy and just completely eat him. I think that would be really interesting to see. And another thing they could do is say, like, Boo does that, he eats the guy, you think it's done, you think they won, and maybe that guy can come back in one shape, like one way. Excuse me. Maybe that guy can come back one way and, you know, actually burst out of Boo and actually be the villain of something. Like, you know, what an ass pull that would be, like a shocking moment. Like, oh, I thought that guy was done for, and now he's back, and like either he has Boo or he kills Boo in that sense or something. Personally, that would be pretty cool to me. We haven't seen the candy beam in a long time. We've seen Boo threaten to use it, but he's never really used it, and it makes no sense to me. Like, if he has this power that is really useful to him, I mean, we saw in the very beginning of Dragon Ball Super, he literally goes out into the press conference with Mr. Satan, is like, I'm hungry, make me food. And it's like, bitch, you can make anything candy. Like what? Why are you picking on him? Just go make all that flour candy. But I don't know. Like, this is something that needs to return. It's an intimidating move, childish as it may be. It's an instant kill technique. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree. It needs to return. And you want to know why he wasn't in ROF? It's because he could turn the whole army into candy. He's too OP.
That's true.
He could have done that, and he could have just ate them all, and Frieza would have been like, fucking shit. But anyways, yeah, I definitely agree. That move does need to return. It is an instant kill. We saw him kill Dabra with it. We saw him kill whole cities with it instantly. And we saw him, obviously, Boo back in the day was a murderer, dude. He was rampaging. This dude was a legit psychopath, killed everybody on Earth, and he has a lot of killing techniques, and obviously one of them is the candy beam. And it would be cool to see him actually utilize this move, because not only is it sort of comical, but it is an actual devastating move. You know, he eats you. That's bad. You know, he legit eats you. That's crazy. And to bring up your point, it would be kind of funny to see something happen like that. Can you imagine, like, the Man in Black? Let's just throw him in there. Can you imagine him go up against Boo, and Boo realizes, you know, oh, okay, I have to like turn you into candy. I can't beat you. He turns him into candy, eats him. The motherfucker pops out of Boo's body. Like, that would be so OP. Like, that would just be like, who is this guy? You know, that would just be crazy. And Boo's just like twitching on the floor with the hole in his stomach, and for some reason he can't regenerate. I don't know. I'm just going off here. I don't know why. I'm stupid. But anyways, it would be cool to see that technique return, because again, if killing's allowed in this tournament, what better way to have an instant killing move? And I think this is probably the best one yet. This is probably the best one, because of just how quickly he can take out your opponent. And it doesn't matter if your opponent is stronger than you or not. He can take you out, and if this is a team fight, he can take out multiple people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think this would be the best technique to return, and it would be good to give Boo some shine, because last time we actually saw Boo do something, Beerus was beating the shit out of him on a freaking boat. So there you go.
Exactly. And even, I think, at least in the movie, I can't remember so far into the anime, but I'm pretty sure he even threatened Beerus with the whole "I'll turn you into candy" and
Beerus fucked him up.
Bitch, please. Like it only works with like someone who's outrageously stronger than Boo, like who can actually fight back on that. And theoretically, there's probably not going to be very many people who can actually outsmart Boo or be as strong as Boo. But like having the guy in black basically to turn into candy and regenerate himself just in and of himself, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
Anyway, so guys, I think we're just going to leave it at that. That's all we can really think of at this point. Please make sure to go check out MJ. Always awesome, great content for you guys. Daily Dragon Ball content, so make sure to go check him out. Super cool guy, super good content. Tell us in the comment section below what techniques or instant kill that you would really like to see come back. I mean, we struggled to come up with these 5 because we were trying to think of things that were legitimate instant kills, not like, well, you could kill somebody with the Macaco Senpo. You could kill somebody with the Genki Dama. You could do this or that. Like, think about things that instantly, like, you can't fight it unless there's, like, some special thing about that person. And almost every time we've seen the thing used, it's killed somebody. So, anyway, with that, we'll leave it at that. Please make sure to go check out MJ, like I said. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe on my channel and this video, and we're going to catch y'all later. Bye.